Yo, what's going on, Domination Crew? It's Rico, and today we're going to be talking about dropshipping gurus and their software. Why these dudes know absolutely jack squat about building software.
All these people are talking about wanting to sell you a lifestyle. We're here to sell you a life.
Selling on Amazon has absolutely changed our lives. So guys, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I'm Rico. Me and my partner Dan, we talk all about that Amazon goodness. Private label dropshipping, that is, some FBA because we're FBA sellers as well, you know, e-commerce in general, mentorship, that type of stuff. If you like that type of content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stick around for a little bit, man. Always doing giveaways, dropping them knowledge bombs on you. But for all you regulars, you already know what time it is, man. Let's go ahead, let's get right into it. Why am I calling out gurus on their software? Why am I saying they don't know what they're talking about? Now, before you guys start being up in arms and like, oh my God, he's a hater. He's a hater. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Ah. Actually, I do know what I'm talking about, okay? As a software engineer, this is my professional career here. I have made a career building software, okay? Writing in multiple languages, JavaScript, Java, obviously HTML, CSS, all that good stuff. Even a little Swift here and there. I hate writing iOS apps, by the way, can't stand it. Objective-C is like my worst language. I hate the crap. Hate it. But besides that, you have all these guys, right? All these gurus, they're coming out with this software. They're like, oh, I'm starting a software company, I'm doing this, blah, 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 blah. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, well, they don't have to be software engineers to know how software works. You know, they can just start a company and build software, which is true. But generally, that type of approach doesn't work, all right? Number one, they don't know what a repository is. They probably never even seen one. So when issues do arise, they're relying on a team to handle that. If they're not paying them for maintenance on a consistent basis, guess what? When you guys have issues, you're screwed. You're boned. That's it. You're done. You're going to be sitting there messaging them like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? They're not going to know. They're not going to be able to take a look at the baseline and see what changed between one version and the next. They're just going to know that this is version 1.1, you know, previously, and now this is version 1.2. They're not going to know what changed between unless there's, you know, really good notes. But even then, you know, if they're paying for a company to build this, they're not going to leave any notes for them more often than not. The notes are going to be left inside the repository. They're going to be comments inside of the code itself. So there's that. The look and feel of software is something that you gain a perspective on over years of dealing with software. I've worked on multi-million-dollar projects, building, you know, apps for, you know, the finance company that I worked for, working on the Android and iOS app, you know, now working in the defense industry, working on multi-billion-dollar projects. It takes a lot of time to develop an eye, you know, an eye for this. I feel like I've worked with some of the best UX designers on the planet, all right? These guys are not doing that. What they're doing is just hiring, you know, people. They're just hiring teams, you know, from India, Pakistan, the Philippines to build software that, you know, it may work, but they don't have the foresight to understand what makes a good software, what makes for a good experience. You know, they're just pushing software out there to get you guys to buy it or buy the course or whatever. The reason why we have not put out a software is because, number one, we don't have enough time because we're constantly answering all your questions, providing free content, doing all this stuff, helping our students make money. And because when we do it, we want to make sure it's right. I want to make sure that I have control over the repo. I want to make sure that if I do bring on other developers that help me write it, that it is worthwhile, that I can maintain it properly. And that's the thing, you have to be able to maintain it properly. These guys know nothing about that, all right? Now, they may or may not know about dropshipping on Shopify. They may or may not know about dropshipping on eBay or whatever, or selling on Amazon or whatnot. But, you know, if they do, that's awesome. But they pretty much know nothing about software. And I can bet you any amount of money on that. I will put my whole paycheck on that crap, that these dudes know nothing about it. They may, you know, say that they do, but they really don't. And they're talking about, oh, I spent $100,000, $200,000 building software and it's the greatest thing ever. They didn't spend near that much, guys. Like, they really didn't. They probably spent anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000, if even that much, to get that software built, okay? So number one, they're like jipping you because the software isn't worth the amount of money that they're saying it is. Like, that's something that like an 8-year-old can build in their bedroom on a weekend more often than not, as long as you have the right API access. And a lot of the softwares, like the Amazon software especially, they don't even have all the API keys. You know, so they're only giving you a little bit of the functionality, like the core functionality that they feel that you need because they didn't want to spend the extra money to get, you know, developer level access for certain APIs. All right, so there's that. And then, you know, there's Shopify apps, which are a dime a dozen. They're very cheap to build. You could build them for, you know, anywhere from a few $100 to a few $1,000, depending on what you want, whether it be like an autoresponder or something along those lines. So don't let these people cheat you, man. Don't let these people tell you that they're building these wonderful things and all this stuff. They don't even know what in the world the software does half the time. You know, they just know that they paid a team, they're testing it out, and they're like, oh, this is good to go. You know, case in point, you know, there were some other YouTubers who built this software, and then, you know, they were having issues with emails and all this other stuff. Oh, I can't get access to the software. I can't get access to this, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. They didn't know what was wrong. They had to go to their team and be like, hey, what's going on here? We build a software. You can bet when you hit us up and like, yo, we're having an issue. There's a bug here. It doesn't work for this, or it doesn't work on this version of Chrome, or it doesn't work on this version of Firefox. I'm going to be able to go into the repository and figure that out. I can debug it and see where this is going wrong and be like, all right, this is what needs to be done. Hey, here's a temporary fix in the meantime. Don't use Firefox, or roll back to this version of Firefox, or roll back to this version of, you know, of the app. Here's a link for it or whatever, because in a repo, you're going to be able to have versioning, all right? And you're going to have versioning for whatever release. And that way you can roll back and say, hey, don't use the newest extension, use the old Chrome extension. All right, so guys, like, don't let these gurus fool you. Talking about they spend $100,000-$200,000 on that. Like, you know, Helium 10 and Jungle Scout and Viral Launch may be worth $100-something-thousand, you know, worth of experience, of coding experience, because they have full-time developers that are probably helping them go through that, and because, I mean, they're multi-million-dollar companies at this point, so therefore they would have spent anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 building their first versions of said software. All right, but outside of that, no. Don't let these gurus fool you, man. Don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. Don't let them do it. The reason why we promote AMZ Scout Pro is because we have a relationship with them. I know that the software works. I know what it does. I wouldn't promote a software that I was not familiar with, that I knew would work. And the only reason that AMZ Scout Pro doesn't get as much notoriety is because they don't spend as much money on marketing. They don't have near as many influencers out there like Tanner J. Fox, or you know, like Kevin David, you know, Derrick Struggle. They don't have those guys talking about it. If they did, they would make even more money, but they don't. All right, so they, you know, they have a much smaller user base. I can't say a very small user base. They have a much smaller user base than Jungle Scout, Viral Launch, stuff like that, just because of who, you know, promotes it and who doesn't. I promote it because I truly, honestly feel that it's a great software, and if I was going to build a software, it would be similar to look and feel of that. There might be a little bit more flair to it, but overall, that's what it would look like. Any software that I present to you guys is because I know how it works and because I trust it. Plain and simple. So take it from a software engineer, an actual software engineer, not someone who says they build software or they have a software team or whatever. An actual guy who does this for a living. A lot of that stuff, smoke and mirrors, snake oil, it's a bunch of hooey. All right, guys, so with that being said, man, be safe, be smart. Peace out. Catch you guys in the next one. Later.